I think that was in the key of D. Yeah, it was close enough. Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. What you just witnessed was playing some simple backup in the key of D. I get lots of emails about how do you play banjo in the key of D? Anyway, it's really not some kind of magical trick that you have to sell your soul for. Okay, so what I've done is I've created a mock D song, and we're just going to do like a couple measures of D, and then it goes into a couple measures of the G chord. It's just a standard. Most of our D songs have 3 chords, D, G, and A. Okay, and then some of them have minor chords in them, and we'll get to that later as well. But this one, we're just going to concentrate on what does it take to play out of the key of D. It's really not that difficult. It's just a matter of finding where the notes are on our banjo, and I have to worry about making all these crazy shapes and having to cover all the strings up. It's not that hard. Come on, come join me. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, I'll ask you here in a little while to go over to BanjoBenClark.com where you can see the full video lesson and also download this tab of this cool little exercise that I wrote teaching you how to play in D, dog. Okay, playing in the key of D. It's really not that hard. We're just going to break it down for you. I've got a tab here that has kind of a typical song in D, playing back up to it. We'll just have a couple measures of a D chord, then a couple measures of a G and of an A chord. Those are the 3 main chords that you're going to hear in the key of D, okay? I want to go over our tuning just right quick. Everything's the same with the first 4 strings. That's still a D, that's still a B, that's still a G, that's still a D. But up here, what used to be our high G string, we want to turn that into an A note, okay? So we want to raise it a whole step, okay? Now, if you don't have the little 5th string tuning pegs, the little railroad spikes there, like I have, you can try to just tune up your string very slowly to an A. I have medium gauge strings and I can do it on this banjo. So if you have light gauge strings, you should definitely be able to do it. Just be careful, close your eyes when you do it. But get this up to an A, or you may have a sliding 5th string capo. If so, we're going to put it on the 7th fret. That's where I've got mine stuck. Typically it would be a G. It's a little flat there, but I put it under that little railroad spike on the 7th fret. You can check our tuning by the 7th fret of the 1st string. Should be the same note as our 5th string. Okay, so we're in tune. Okay, now the next thing that I want to talk about is that the key to playing really in any key is just knowing what you're doing, okay? We don't want to be robots. We want to know what we're doing. So the purpose of this video is to show you kind of how to find the roots of whatever chord is being played, because that's what we're going to base our roll off of. And then we're just going to talk about how to walk from chord to chord, okay? My purpose is not for you to learn this particular exercise and carry it around everywhere you go, and that's all you play whenever you play in the key of D. My purpose is to use this exercise to show you how to play in the key of D, and then you're unstoppable after that, okay? That's what we're going to do today. Now, measure 1, I've just got a simple walk down. This is just kind of if a song was starting, and we're just essentially walking right down a D chord, okay? The song hasn't started yet. This is just kind of the intro. And measure 1. Remember, I have all my right-hand fingerings written out beneath the notes. So those are all thumbs. They have a T with a circle around them. See that beneath the notes? And then our index finger is a 1, and then if we play with our middle finger, it'll be labeled a 2. Now, measure 2, the song officially starts, okay, in the key of D. And you can see that measures 2 and 3 are D measures, and then the rhythm is going to change to a G in measure 4, okay? But let's just concentrate on playing out of D. Now, a lot of people think that I've got to find this D chord, this big hard D chord that's hard to make with all 4 fingers, and I've got to play that the whole time and just do rolls through it. That's not what we have to do at all. All you have to do is think about the strings that you're playing, okay? Just think about the strings that you're playing. You don't have to cover every single string. So the first thing we know is, or we ask ourselves is, what chord are we playing through? We're playing through a D chord. Where are our D notes? Because those would be really safe to play over a D chord. You agree? Right? All right. So we know there, look back at measure 1, there are strings are labeled. We know that the first string is a D and our 4th string is a D. So we know those 2 strings are legal. the whole time we're playing through a D chord. Those are good to go, okay? So you can see there in measure 2, I'm only playing 3 different strings. I'm playing that 4th string is what we start out on, and then the next string we play is our 3rd string, which is a G note, okay? But a G note is not in a D chord, okay? So we have to find a fret on this G string that's going to be in the G chord. I'll just give you a clue. If we place our finger on the 2nd fret, that's going to turn this G string into an A note, okay? And A is legal in D. This is also an A note up here. So now these are an octave apart, okay? And then the 3rd string that we play, measure 2, is that 1st string, and it's a D note. So look how I've just got kind of a forward roll and then a backwards roll, and we're good and legal. And I'm just using one finger. I'm not having to make this big D chord, okay? I'm just using one finger, playing through the key of, over a D chord. That's measure 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and measure 3 is pretty much the same thing, except we're going to include our high 5th string. 1 and 2 and 3 and then what do I do next? Okay, this is where we're going to talk about transitions, because we need to think about what chord are we going to next. The next chord we're going to is a G chord.